Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning into this episode. This is gonna be like, you guys remember back in the day when, let's say, one artist would sing a song and then there would be an answer song by a different artist? Episode 7 was the girls' side of the story where girls were telling us what their turnoffs are. And I thought it would be pretty cool to bring in some guys in here and get to hear what their thoughts are and what turns them off. So I have Derrick in the house today. Derrick, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, Michelle? How are you doing?
Doing good, doing good. Thank you so much for coming on to here. Mike, how's it going?
Popping Michelle. Everything's going good over here.
Yay! I'm excited to have you guys in here and to get to hear what guys think. So this should also be pretty special to you guys because this is the first episode where I have two guys. I've had like guy and girl episodes, so this is pretty special because you guys can think of it as like bro talk, and then I'm the minority in this conversation. But anyway, we'll get started. So let's start with Mike. What's your biggest turnoff when it comes to girls?
I'll probably say always being the one to initiate something in terms of like plans, anything we're gonna do. Like, say if we're paying for meals. Usually it comes from the guy side because of chivalry and stuff like that. But not having it go both ways, like the reciprocity within the relationship, like it's not there. So in that aspect.
So wait. So I'm hearing two things here. The first one is like you don't. It sounds like you don't like it when girls are the ones who initiate a lot of things. But then the other side of it is you also don't like it when they don't reciprocate. Did I get that correctly?
So what I mean is by that is like the fact that we have to initiate something, right? We always have to do it most of the time, right?
Yeah,
It's a problem. Like that's the problem. Reciprocity between it, like it shouldn't be equal because we understand we're alpha males and we should approach the female. We understand that, but sometimes it'll be good to see the action at least or an attempt.
yeah.
Got it. Oh, okay, okay. So you don't like it when you, as the guy, always have to initiate, and the girl kind of takes a backseat to everything.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good one. I like that a lot. Derek, it sounds like you were agreeing.
Yeah, no, I'm with that, man. Like it's just like, yo, like, yeah, I get it. We're guys, I think a lot more women want strong men, right? Men that are there, men that are present. But it's also like, yo, I think more often than not, the emotional needs of men are neglected. Like, yo, I don't always have to be the person who's present or who's paying for things. I don't have to come up with the ideas, right? Like, you can do that too, right? So I think I not so it's a turn up from when I always have to be the initiator as well. So I definitely agree with Mike. Because yeah, at the end of the day, I'd like it if you also like it's attractive if you also kind of take initiative.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So does it matter? Because some guys, for example, they get really offended if it's like a first date and then the girl offers to pay. For you guys, let me start with Mike. Does it matter if like you're on a first date with this person and then they want to pay?
It doesn't matter to me, but like knowing my character, I would just be like, oh no, it's okay, I got it. You don't got to worry about that. But the attempt alone
Mike
is,
got
is
money.
grateful.
That's what it is. Mike got money.
It's the attempt alone, like the eagerness to show that you're interested in putting forth the same amount of effort I am going to put in.
Got it. Got it. Okay. How about you, Derek? What's your story when it comes to this first date thing?
I don't think I've ever been on a first date with any woman and they paid for it.
Okay.
I just it just hasn't been my experience. I don't think knowing who I am or how I was raised, like given that would be an experience that I'm even interested in having.
Got it. But then after you're in a relationship with someone and obviously you're going on multiple dates with this person, you would want the person to kind of pay here and there.
Pay here and there, right? If when they to me that's like taking initiative, right? It's just like, hey, I always almost like 65, 90 to 80% of the time will pay, but it's just like that one or two times that you initiate something. Hey, I just want to take you out for lunch, right? Hey, I know you're working, but I brought you lunch. I think that's pretty dope. That's cool.
Oh, got it. I like that a lot. Let's turn it over to you, Derek. What's your top one?
Man, my first one is a big turner for me is the "I don't need a man"
Oh,
attitude.
snap. Oh, please speak to it. Speak to it.
Um, I think I think especially today, most women kind of just there's a lot of pride in being independent. But I don't think like women are honestly or genuinely want to be independent, right? But there's this facade that they as some girls put up like, yo, I don't need a man, I got it, I'm strong, I'm independent. It's just like, yo, but you still like when you go back home when you're in bed, you're crying. You actually, you're on Instagram scrolling on like black love pages and clicking and posting, but like you don't need a man. Like, come on, man, stop playing.
But the thing is, Derrick, like in as much as you can say that, right? Like I can still scroll on, say, Black love pages, but I can still say I don't need a man. I think there's a difference between needing a man and wanting a man. So I think sometimes when women say they don't need a man, it's not necessarily to say they don't want one. It's just more of maybe not wanting to give the guy the power. But to you, does it? So I guess if I'm reading into what you're saying, is there a need for you to feel needed as a guy? Like being
I think,
wanted is not enough. Do you want to feel needed?
I think as human beings,
Hmm.
we want to feel needed, and our innate nature as human beings, we want to feel needed. We want to feel wanted, like both, because we're not we're we want companionship, right? To say that like I don't need a man,
Hmm.
is just like, yo, like you're lying to yourself, right? Because as human beings, just who we are, we want companionship, and maybe that companionship is not, with the man. If you're part of the LGBTQ plus community, that's okay, but you need someone.
I see. I like that a lot. I think the fact that you took out the gender aspects of it, and then you just said like as a human being need, like we need somebody in our lives, right? So if someone says they don't need someone, that's not true. I like that.
Yeah,
Mike, what are your thoughts on that?
I agree with Derek. But one thing I would say is like needing somebody. I remember you said something about giving the man the power. I don't think the neediness gives power. You know, what I mean, there's a whole relationship aspect correlating to interdependence. You know, the companionship, building of a covenant is an interdependence type of thing. So the man and the woman, or the man and the man. You know, and nowadays just whichever gender. You know, there's a need of each other just to come together. And I don't think there's a power struggle with any of that. So that attitude where he was talking about not needing a man, um,
Hmm.
sometimes does hinder the building of a relationship.
Wow, I like that a lot. Yeah, I know something that came up in the episode that I did with the girls was, I mean, you guys sound like gentlemen, and even though you're well off and you have things going on for yourselves, I don't necessarily think that you use any of your possessions to kind of get girls. Because there's some men out there who like they'll actually go to a girl and they'll be like, I have a house, I have a nice car, like I have a nice job, I'm a VP, so come, I'll provide for you, right? And that was one of the turnoffs that came up in the episode with the girls. So maybe in that case, how we were looking at it was when a guy does that, it's almost as if he is telling you all these things so that you throw yourself at him. And so for those guys, you would tell them like, it's not that I need you. I don't, it's not because, right now women can work for themselves and they can do all these things. It's not to say that people don't want nice things. We still want nice things. But like, because we can, like we have jobs now, we can buy ourselves nice things. It's sort of like disrespectful when a guy comes and tries to get you based on what he has. So what are your guys' thoughts on that? Derrick, let's hear from you first.
my thoughts on that is, I think, I think women have the liberty to discern, right, on, if this guy has the right intentions,
Hmm.
right, in their approach, or if they don't, right, but I think so, yeah, and so I think when a guy approaches you, like there's the liberty to discern, hey, if I'm not, this is my type of guy, this is my type of guy, or if it's not. But I think what we're speaking about is just the general, like, like I know for the girls on my Instagram
Hmm.
that I wouldn't want to talk to at all whatsoever because of because of their reposts or the things that they say about men,
Oh, I
right?
see.
That
Okay.
it's just because and it's not even, and I don't even know them from a can of paint, but just their the perception of themselves that they put out there, right? It's just not something that's palatable for me.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Thanks for explaining. I think yeah, it does sound like this is it even stops according to what you're saying, Derek, because you've seen some of these people post certain things on Instagram and what they think about men through the posts that they, I guess, put up, then you are not even going to initiate conversation with those people when it comes to like trying to be in a relationship with them. And I think
Oh, absolutely.
and Mike, I think, was also saying the same thing where he was like, yeah, it kind of hinders that trying to build a relationship with someone because I mean, if someone doesn't need you or doesn't want you, then what are we doing here? So makes a lot of sense. Mike, let's hear your second one.
My second turn off would probably be poor hygiene.
Oh, go there. Let's hear it.
I want to come off as I'm bashing women, but like, it's poor hygiene is the thing that women have to be. They don't have to be, right? They most of the time they tend to focus on this. It's like they get their nails done, their hair is done nice. What else? They don't smell, take showers. I understand if you're at home and you're just chilling, you're not going out, you don't have to shower. It doesn't bother me, but in terms of like being out in public and your armpits is smelling and stuff like that, that's very, very unattractive.
I'm actually curious. Have you experienced that? Like, have you ever been in a situation where you had a poor, I guess, somebody who had poor hygiene?
Well, it wasn't my woman. Well, it was just I went to a party because I was raised in New York City, and we go to a lot of house parties. And went to a Caribbean party, and it's in the summertime, and there was a couple girls there that was dancing, and their armpits was really smelling really really bad, and you
Oh
just
man.
couldn't go to that section because it was just like god dang, but like stuff. I'm gonna keep it. That's the only way I can keep it PG. So I'm just gonna say god dang. Um, but
Oh wow.
men smell like that. Football players do smell like that, so we know how bad it could be. So the fact that a female who's coming out to a party, yeah, you're gonna sweat and stuff like that, but you're gonna smell like this too. It's just like Jesus Christ, like what are you trying to do to me? I'm ready to die yet.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. No, I think you really drove it home. That's a really good one.
Now, I just feel like the fact that women should just be cautious about their hygiene. It's not a huge priority, but that's just something that I think men look at and they see, and so they're just taking care of yourself.
Got it. Okay. And you mentioned something. You mentioned nails and you mentioned hair. So, like your type of girl, are you looking for somebody who gets their nails done, or do you just mean like having clean nails?
Dang, this is where's the question? I would say I don't care too much about getting your nails done. I don't care about claws and stuff like that. But if your nails is just cleaned up nice, not too long, and sharp where you can scratch me, I'm cool. Really, I don't care too much about the hair, either. As long as it's presentable. You know what I mean? Because
Hmm.
I know when I was younger and I was, growing up in New York and going to middle school and stuff like that. If I had peas in my head or like bad hair, they'll let me know. Like you need to brush your hair. All the girls will let me know. So
Got it. Got it. I think that's fair. Derek, any thoughts on what Mike said?
But I just agree, man. I just agree. I think for me, poor hygiene is like a no. But then specifically, I just you know, and maybe this is just me, but I just cannot like bad breath is like you know
halitosis.
from a shorty, from a dude is like yo, we homies, that's cool, but like I'll give you some done with from a shorty, bro. Like why ain't your homegirl tell you that, bro? Like what, like before you walked up here, or before we like, why ain't your homegirl tell you? Like that's not your homie. Like
I mean, but
so for
then
me,
again,
like
like someone can be with their girlfriends, and then I don't know, we can be sitting in the same room, but across from the room from each other, if that makes sense. So then it's not, I feel like maybe you would be the one who then got really close to her breath to smell it. That makes sense.
nah. So I feel like girls really be knowing, like like girls really be going out with their homegirls and be having them looking crazy.
Uh,
Like they just don't be saying nothing. But that's just me. Though. But so long story short, I agree with Mike.
got it. That was really good. Yeah, I think bad breath for anybody, even for myself, whether it's coming from like, a guy that I'm, interested in, or if it's coming from like one of my friends, yeah, it's not a good thing to have. Luckily or fortunately for me, I've never been in a situation where someone had bad breath, so I didn't have to deal with it. I think it's also one of those things that would be hard to be the one to tell someone, right? Like, have you guys ever experienced a situation where you had to tell a girl that like her breath wasn't right?
Yeah.
You did? Tell me about it.
uh College, so I woke up, went to class, and there's a girl that I know same year and stuff. She's sitting next to me and she's talking. Her breath was really hot. And I told her, I'm not gonna say no names, but shorty, please back up. Your breath is hot. Like she's like, for real? She's like, oh, you're so rude. I didn't mean to say in that way, but like the way she was, so close to me. You know how college seats are, like
Yeah.
so close. And then the fact that she just turned so fast with a flash and hit my nose, I couldn't take it. And I have a really strong nose. So and I told her, she told me what she had to say about it, and it was cool. But that's my friend, so that's all that matters. The fact that I kept it real with her, I think that's what she really cared about. I think she went home
Yeah.
and then brushed her teeth for sure. Again,
Let's hope so, right? That was funny. I think you're like a comedian, Mike, because I was out.
I
Cool,
thought,
cool. Okay, so let's hear your next one, Derek.
Man, my next one, it's kind of related, but not too related. But for me, you know, I'm just the turn off for me is just women who wear too much makeup, like the too much of the external aesthetics. It's just like
Mm.
for some reason I can't get past it. Is and it's less of the fact that it's the makeup, and for me it kind of signals to me it signals that is it a confidence thing, like what's really going on under all of that, right? So that's kind of a turn off for me.
Got it. So when you say too much makeup, let's dig into that. So, because I think everyone will have different definitions when it comes to that. If someone has like fake lashes, for example, is that something that's too much for you?
I just I know it's saying the word like too much is subjective,
Mm-hmm.
but like I think as dudes, like we be knowing when like your like girl's face is like caked up. Like we don't it's not subjective to us. Like we just see you and it's just like, bro, yeah, we know for a fact you don't look like that with your face on. like we know.
yeah.
Like and we just be know it's just like, yo, I bet.
Got it. Okay, that makes a lot of sense to me. How about you, Mike? Do you have points to add to this, or can I ask you guys a follow-up question on this
I
one?
I I agree with Derek on this. I feel like when a girl wears too much makeup, sometimes specifically in the summertime, you can see their face melting almost, and you're not you can't
Bro,
recognize them, like, yo,
yeah.
like, is that you? Felicia, that's you? Oh, like, no, that's not you. And the eyelashes, I don't consider eyelash makeup. It's just an accessory to enhance beauty. So it really doesn't bother me. But when it's too big, the eyelashes are too big, and you makes it seem like you're flying, and that's a
you
You're
know,
fire, bro.
No, I
so
was actually gonna say, I think like there are different, I guess lengths when it comes to the lashes. There's somewhere it looks like a bird is coming out of somebody's face, right? Similar to like even nails. There are people who have long nails and then they have the long ones that kind of curve in, and I'm like, that's just to me, you look like a bird. So it's just too much for me. But go on. I think you're about to say something else.
yeah, I think that's really it. It's just if we can't recognize you, and we know that you're just doing a lot. I know women don't wear makeup for men. You shouldn't. You should do it for yourself. But if you're
Hmm.
doing it for yourself, you should at least know that you didn't do a good job. Because if you did it for yourself, you'd be knocking off your face, not going out looking like that.
My gosh, wow. Oh, you're giving it straight as it is. That's so
Hey,
funny.
I think girls like the truth. Transparency. So
It's
Yeah,
true.
I like that. Actually, I have a question for you guys since you guys are both black guys. This topic, okay, so like what do you guys think about wigs and weaves, right? Because I think there's some black men who are like, oh no, like I really don't want to see a black girl in a weave or in a wig. And then there's some guys who are like, they're cool with it. So like, what are your guys's, you know, preferences
Mhm.
there?
Yeah. man, I'm gonna go. I'll take that, right? And man, I think like for me, almost everybody knows like I'm like a big forget turn off. A big turn on for me
Hmm.
is like shorties with like natural hair, and and if it taken it up a notch, shorty with like short, like almost bald natural hair,
Oh wow.
like like like
Yeah,
like that's. And I don't know if if Mike agrees, but that's my preference.
yeah, he likes to be looking like Little
So
Bill.
I like bald. I like short hair, bald, natural woman. But I have been in relationships where like I've had like previous partners tell me that like, yo, that has not been their experience in the past. Where like, with a black dude, but the dude just really he didn't like the natural hair. He wanted them to wear wigs all the time.
Mm.
And I'm like, oh, well, so they felt like they had to be that with me. And I'm like, no, that's not that's actually the complete opposite for me. Like I actually prefer the same way the makeup be like a little too much. That's the same way to me, like the wigs and all. It's like, yo, come on, man. It's just you and me. Like, let's kick it.
But then, Derek, so if you were to meet a girl and I guess, you think she's attractive and there's a connection there and you want to pursue a relationship, well, are you saying that you wouldn't pursue a relationship with someone who did not, like, I guess, fit into that short hairstyle kind of person? Or would you still, have you been with women who, like, from the jump when you met them, they were doing weaves and wigs? And also, did you try to kind of convert them to being like, oh, you should just walk around with your natural hair?
The simple answer is no, right? Would I date women who wear wigs and weaves? Absolutely, right? Because I think at the end of the day, you're not really you're as much as the aesthetic is important, you're not really dating the aesthetic, right? I think it's and just put it in like in simple terms. I feel like if the vibe is there, if this person is being their real, authentic, genuine self,
Hmm.
right? And you're being your real, authentic, genuine self, and the vibe is there, and you're connecting, you're bonding up with that. I think that's the beauty of it,
Gotcha.
right? But it's if I'm being my real self all the time, and you're kind of not being your real self, and I'm bonding with like a person, because you're not being your real self. At some point, when you start to get comfortable in the relationship, then you want to be your real self. But hey, that's not the person I was attracted to. That's not who you showed me. Then it's like, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, let's pause right there. So,
Gotcha, gotcha. Mike, any thoughts on this wig natural hair thing?
I don't mind it, preferably, I'd rather them just be comfortable in their natural hair, anything like that. But as long as you're cool with what you're wearing, that's all that really matters to me. But there is sometimes where the hairstyle doesn't fit. So if I'm dating, if I'm dating,
bro, what you mean it don't
no,
fit?
no, if I'm dating you and you're a black woman and you have a bob, I've seen a lot of cartoons that they have bobs, and sometimes the bob don't fit. So sometimes you just gotta be like, yo, that one is not for you. The colorful hair, like the extremely colorful hair, like the 6ix9ine, like the blue bobs, green bobs, like that stuff like that. That's when it gets me out of like it gets out of the element to me. Um, but as long as it's within like the nude or like the black, white, silver type hair, I'm good with it. Blonde, I'm cool with it. But like
Gotcha.
colors, yeah, that's
Man,
what.
this was funny. Oh man, you guys are hilarious. Okay, Mike, let's hear your next turn off.
I'll probably say being too friendly with other men.
Oh, snap. Okay, so this, I'm guessing
Mhm.
you're talking about you're already in a relationship. Are you exclusive with this person at this
Um,
point?
I wouldn't even say that because that's a trait or that's a characteristic that you have to see before you enter a relationship. So once you notice it, it's just like, yeah, this person is too friendly with other men, and she could get coddled with what the man is saying and just fall for his trap. So that alone, you know.
So tell me more about that. Like, is there a situation that you can share to kind of bring it home?
Yeah, I would say girls use this more all the time. They say they don't like a guy that's too friendly with other girls, like being like the star of the show or doing this, almost like you're showing off, but you're not. You're just being yourself, but you're doing a lot. Sometimes you just gotta be chill and be yourself. Don't do too much, especially if you're with someone that you find attractive or you like or you're interested in. Don't do too much to get anyone else's attention. Just be yourself. But don't go out there and try to meet new people or network, because at the end of the day, if you network too much, you're gonna lose the person that he was interested in. He's gonna go network as well. So that's the same thing. And the thing about guys is that guys sometimes are a little bit passive aggressive about the approach too. So when we see it happen, we just be like, okay, cool, we're not gonna say nothing, we're gonna go do our own thing. And then girls get upset and they're not passive aggressive about it. And they say, why are you so friendly with this person? Is this person really your friend? Is this your best friend, or are you doing this with her? So I think that's why I'm saying that.
Okay, so basically, if you're interested in a woman and she claims to be interested in you, you don't want to see behavior that kind of points to she's just interested in a lot of men at the same time in general.
Yeah, that too, but more so if like we're in public. I know Derek and I would agree, went to the same school, and if like say if you're talking to a girl and you bring her to a party, and then she's trying to talk to all your boys, dapping them up, doing a lot, and then she's dancing, shaking her butt,
Oh,
doing
wow.
everything, just stuff that she would not do if you know what I mean. If it was just you and her, like that, that's just like she's out of character at the moment. Remember, these are my friends, not your friends. The loyalty lies within me, and sometimes even though their loyalty lies within me, right? They
Hmm.
would do something just to test your character or flirt with you, and then you might fall for it because you're being too friendly. You might just not notice, and it's just distasteful sometimes just to see. So I know not all
Gotcha.
women do this. It's for the sum of the few that do it.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, I think the explanation makes a lot of sense. Derek, any thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I think it's funny because I say this is like for me personally, I think I like to believe I'm a really nice person, almost more nice, a lot nicer than most, and I'm weirdly attracted to like just girls who are not nice, right?
That's toxic, Derek. What?
I like, hey, I'm keeping it a buck. I'm really so, and what I be saying is like, bro, I got enough niceness with both of us, bro. Like, bro, like you could, you could tone it down a bit. So with that, I think like I agree with Mike and like not having like a turn off for me is who's just overly out there, especially with has a lot of like brothers. Like, you got mad brothers, you got mad best friends. Like, girl, how come? Why you like? Why you got mad? Why everybody your brother? Because as a dude, I know for a fact, bro, that my boys that be having shorty best friends or shorty, it's just like they be calling them when shit not going right, and as soon as the dude is out, they things they be sliding that way. And as a guy knowing that, bro, I cannot. I can't trust those relationships. I don't know.
I
That's
see. I think it makes a lot of sense. It sounds like, I guess you're saying because you know what guys do. If a girl has a lot of, I guess, in quotes, really close male friends, you kind of suspect already that there's an ulterior motive from the guy side, right?
yeah, and it's not even the girl. It's just like, yo, I like, we know us guys. Like we know how we move. Like especially and you wild valid, like you fired. You really think like the dudes y'all just brothers? Come on, come on. Like I would say, I mean, there's been a time where that's my friend. Like we've been, and next thing things just happen to not be that.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. I think that makes a lot of sense. Um, that's crazy. My gosh.
Yeah.
What's your next one, Derek?
My next one is just girls who bring up old situations
With you or with other men?
with with I guess with other men, right? Like they bring up their previous situations,
Okay.
right? And it's more so almost projecting like because this guy that I was with did this, and you're kind of doing something that kind of looks like it. Oh my gosh, there's like a panic or some type of a trigger for them, and then things just end up going south. When it's just like this, like the two situations have no correlation whatsoever,
I see.
right? And I think it goes back to like not really maybe the underlying thing is not really being fully healed, from your previous relationships, or like how, going through therapy to actually make sure you're ready and able to accept, what's right for you. But I think more often than not, because that work doesn't get done, you meet the right person and you tend to kind of project previous encounters or previous negative experiences on this person because because somebody else did it. So for me, that's like okay, that's like a red flag for me, and it's just like, okay, I'm gonna head out.
Got it. Okay. So in that case, Derek, let's say for example, this girl in her previous relationship had been cheated on, and this guy who cheated on her had exhibited certain signs, and now she's kind of seeing certain signs on your end. Would you, the moment she brings that up to you, would you like just leave, or would you try and assure her? Like, what's the story there? Because I don't know. I also feel like part of it is as you go through many relationships or any relationship that you go through, you learn things, right? And we're human beings and we're conditioned to, I guess, recognize patterns. And yeah, you can be fully healed, but then at the same time you don't want to be a fully healed fool. That makes sense. It's one of those things
Yeah.
where like if someone was like cheating on you and they did all these things and then now you're seeing the same signs, you would still speak up and say something about it, right? So I don't know, like in that case, would you try and I guess prove your innocence, or to you it's just like it's a turn off and that's it?
Um, I think, like, I understand what you're saying, but just kind of piggybacking off the last thing you said,
Hmm.
I don't think, you know, I, I don't think I'm in a place where I would try and prove my innocence,
Gotcha.
right? Like, yeah, especially, yes. If I'm not doing anything, you can't trust that I'm not doing anything.
Hmm.
Like, I don't have any, like, I don't think there's anything I have to necessarily prove to you. Because these are things that, like, because of what you've seen in the past, they're coming up, but they're not reality. I don't think there's anything that I can really do or prove to kind of disseminate the thought of, okay, this is not reality. It's not.
Gotcha. Okay, I understand. Mike, any thoughts on that one?
I agree. I got I got really nothing to say about that. I agree wholeheartedly with what he said.
Perfect. Let's hear your next one then.
I probably would say smoking cigarettes.
Oh, smoking you said cigarettes, so it's okay
All
to
right,
smoke other things.
so the thing is that this is really touchy subject. A lot of girls, a lot of people are gonna get mad at me about it. I don't smoke. Never smoked in my life. Never attempted it. None of that. Never tried it. So
Hmm.
I think smoking anything is a luxury, right? So when you smoke something, that means you're telling me you're comfortable enough to be doing this, you know. And in life, the fact that you get too comfortable it's a problem. To me, I feel like you should always you should always feel uncomfortable, and that's the way you will succeed in life. So the fact that you smoke anything, we all know cigarettes is terrible, right? We've
Hmm.
seen commercials on there, and people in our generation still do it. You know, I think smoking weed is bad as well, but you know, a lot of people would tell me, that I'm not gonna say hippies, but like the people that support you, they probably say, no, weed actually helps you and it calms you down. Hey, if it works for you, it works for you. But all I'm saying is that it takes money out your pocket.
Got it. Got it. So it's like it's not even just the action itself of smoking. It's more of like the underlying things that it presents. So for example, you know, we're in a world where there's so much information about how cigarettes are bad for you. But then if you see someone who's still doing it, it's kind of it shows that like despite having all this information, they want to be comfortable with smoking.
Yeah, I feel like the image on smoking itself came from the aesthetic of looking cool to me, from what I've seen, right? From back in the days where he started, people used to smoke on TV, and it made him look like a popular guy. I think they correlated smoking to, I think the Monopoly game, like a guy with a big belly smoking shows that they're rich, that they have stuff. And now it just passed on to this generation as people don't really do it for looking cool. Sometimes they just do it because they think it's the norm and it's normal. But
Mm.
I feel like if it takes money out your pocket and you don't need to do it, you shouldn't really do it. Like drinking is not a good thing, and we all know that. So people don't drink as often as they do smoke. So
Right, right. That's true.
there's a repercussion to it. There's also a repercussion to smoking cigarettes, but that's down the line. Drinking can affect you that next day. A hangover. You get a hangover
Mm.
because you don't drink again. You know. and then it also affects you later on. You can get, some type of alcohol disease that's, that affects your liver or something. So yeah,
I
I would
agree.
say
I agree with that.
it's for men
Derek,
too. It's not only for women though. It's just for men too.
I like it. Oh, thank you very much for being very balanced here. Derek, any thoughts? Or do you want to talk about your next one?
I mean, my thoughts on that, just because I have a very not contradicting, but opposite thought on that. Because I mean, I smoke,
Okay.
right? Not cigarettes.
The
But
other
I would
stuff.
say, yeah, I would say I probably smoke hookah like twice a month,
Okay, got it.
if not more. Right? I'll probably say I smoke a cigar probably once a month.
Got it.
The other stuff, but
No, we
yeah.
don't
So
have
so
to
I
go there.
The ganja.
uh, oh man. So I guess for me, it's not as much of it's not a turn off for me, but it's also um the frequency of it, right? And there's this saying that anything that you cannot set aside or you cannot fast from, your slave too.
Got it. Got it. Oh, I like that a lot.
Right.
I think what I like about your response the most is that, like, you're not being, what's it, is it double sided about it? Like, you're saying, because you already, let's say, smoke hookah or whatever you said, right? Like, you do it, say, twice a month. So if you meet someone who does it, say, twice a month, it's not a turn off for you because it's something that you do. But if they do it
Yeah.
like every day, then that might be a problem.
Yeah. So then it means that you've lost your control of that habit. It's a habit,
Hmm.
Got
right? You
it.
don't have control over it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? And like it's addictive, right? Tobacco is addictive, right? That's why people have time breaking the habit. Same thing with weed, like it's addictive. That's why people have a hard time breaking the habit. So it's just like so I think it's a turner for me if that's a habit. But if it's like I just I smoke, that's just kind of a social
Hmm.
thing that I do to relax. Cool, that's cool. But then if it's something that you cannot break away from, it's like I gotta smoke a couple before I go to bed. I got it's just like okay, sis, I might make that's you being you, and that doesn't it's not that it's bad, right? But it just doesn't align with who I am and what I want. So we might have to kind of part ways.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I
That's
agree
fair.
with.
What's you? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
No, I agree with Derek with what he's saying. I think what he would say, just to like summarize, is like the
Hmm.
recreational use of it. Doing it recreationally, and every single day is just it's not good. In any form of fashion. It's not like a huge turn off. Like I won't date you if you do it. Cigarettes, that's a no. Yeah, that's a dub.
You
He said that's a
said,
turn off.
Other stuff,
let the record show I said no to cigarettes.
yeah, it's over. It's not happening. But like weed,
Gotcha.
like the weed or like the hookah, it's normal. I was raised in the Bronx, in New York City. They
Oh
it's not.
man. Oh man.
You have to learn to accept it. But when they do it too often and you see it, like almost like, oh, I'm going to this lounge, I'm going to the hookah lounge, I'm going to this thing, I'm doing, and then it starts becoming a little bit distasteful. You're like, goodness gracious, you have to have some type of control.
I gotcha. Cool, cool. Derek, what's your next one?
My next one is a big turn up for me is bad communication.
Oh, okay. Go there.
Like, so you feel this, you're thinking it, but you're not saying it, and you're making the assumption that I'm supposed to read it because I got a magical, I'm Professor X. I could read into your mind, right? And it's just like it doesn't really work like that. So to me, that's like, and it shows, and I think it's something that shows its head in like very, very minor in little ways, but eventually, like there's this saying that relationships and marriage, like it just exposes, who you really are. So for me, like if you're not communicating, even when it comes to like, yo, I texted you, you can't reply, but like because you're at work and like even that is not, you're not letting me know. It's just like okay, that there must, that there's something there, right? Like how do you communicate? So
Got
that's
it.
that's a turn off.
Okay. So it's like to start off with, just I think the first part is if you do see a text and you're like busy, just at least say like, I'm busy, I'll get back to you later, right? Rather than just
Yeah,
keep
that's
on. Yeah. And then the other part of it, I think what you were saying is because I think women tend to do this a lot where if you're upset about something and a guy asks you what's wrong, like you can say nothing, but then you know that it's not nothing, there's something and you're not saying it. So that's the other
like
side.
yeah.
Somebody is passionate. Okay, Derrick. I
Yeah, like what you mean it's nothing? Clearly you mad. Like you mad, bro. Like use your big words. You are upset.
no, but I don't know. I think sometimes it's just I mean, you're right. I will say that yes, we can't expect people to guess when something is wrong. So I do actually I have to admit that that's not good to not communicate. If you know that someone did something wrong and you're upset about it, I think you should say it. Have I always done it? Maybe not. Because sometimes I think as girls, in our defense, I think if someone has done something, you're like, you know, the last thing you just did, right? So, like, why should I tell you that this is what you did that upset me when you know that that's what you did? So, but I'm with you, Derrick. We should still communicate when something is wrong and we're asked, like, what's wrong? So, I humbly accept that. How about you, Mike? Thoughts on that? Or you want to go to your next one?
I agree with Derek, with the communication thing as well. That's one of my big ones as well. I forgot about that because I just thought that that's just something that you have to come with. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I agree with everything he said.
Gotcha. Let's hear your next one then.
I would probably say bad mannerisms or like poor etiquette. You know,
Mm.
uh, so my mom is like is British. So in terms of mannerism, also African as well. So Africans have a lot of like good manners, and certain things that a lot of women. I'm not gonna say a lot of women don't have, but like it doesn't pass on to certain cultures. That's
Mm-hmm.
a culture thing. So when you see that you see a girl that has bad mannerisms, you just be like, "Who raised you?" You know what I mean? It's not only for women too; it's for men as well. But that's just something I just don't like. It's a turn off. You know, my mom always used to say like, "Don't act like a bush person around here." I think we all know what that means. So, so yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's basically it. I would say bad mannerism.
Yeah, and I agree. I think something even that came up in the episode I did with the girls was, if you're with a guy on a date or you're in a relationship with a guy, but then the way he treats like, waiters, he's just disrespectful, right? Like that's not good. So some of those like bad manners are definitely turn-offs for sure. Derek, thoughts on that?
Second, I was saying for sure. Like for me, like for me, it's also like one thing that I'm very observant about is just how you treat people, how you talk to people, like in general,
Mm.
right? And to me, I honestly don't really care who the person is, right? I think, and I think I was saying this, to a friend last night. Is like, yo, at the end of the day, we're all, I think we're all at different pages in our journey. Just because your page right now today looks better than the other person, the homeless person's page, you don't know what your next page looks like, right? And I firmly believe we're all one bad decision away from homeless, right? So so the level, so there's the being able to treat everybody with respect, right? Irrespective of what they look like now or what you're seeing now it's a big thing for me as well. So I agree.
Gotcha. Yeah, I love that. I think, yeah, I like what both of you said. From what Mike is saying, culture definitely plays a lot to it. Being raised Zimbabwean, I was raised to respect everyone. So it's kind of like an expectation. So when I do see people who don't respect other people, it's a turn off. So I definitely agree with what you said. And I also agree with what Derek said that, hey, yeah, like a homeless person in the end is still a person. And both of us are people. So it could be a CEO of a company, it could be someone who just cleans your office building, but you have to treat everybody with respect because in the end, we're all just human beings. So I love that a lot. Derek, let's hear your next one.
For sure. And this is probably my biggest one,
Okay.
right? Based on everything that we've said, it's probably my biggest one. And it's just I'm awfully and overly not attracted to women or people who feel entitled,
Ooh, go there, please.
Entitlement. Entitlement is big for me. Like, and what that means is, but I don't, I really, like, I don't care how bad you think you look, or how bad you think you are, or who's blown up your head. Um, like, this that doesn't give you access. Maybe in some way that it gives you access to certain things, right? But I don't think it doesn't give you access to my interests,
Oh, so you're talking
right?
about you're talking about being entitled to you.
Yeah, well, being entitled, just in general,
Okay,
right? But to me, like, it's a turn up for me. Like, being entitled to my interests, or being entitled to, like, my time.
gotcha. What if you're in a relationship with someone, Derek? Does that change? So, one thing in relationships is to say you need to spend quality time together. So if your girlfriend feels entitled to spend some time with you, is that like, is that a bad thing?
In the context of a relationship, I wouldn't say it's more so entitlement in a relationship. If my partner wants more time
Mm-hmm.
with me, right? I think it's, I define entitlement, but you think it's something that you deserve. You have, like, it's yours,
Got it.
right?
Okay.
And it almost foregoes the individuality of the person, right? The emotions, the feelings of the person,
I
right?
see. Okay.
And that's what I'm not aligned with. Is that, hey, it's entitlement is selfish, essentially. So,
I think that's fair. I like that a lot. Mike, any thoughts?
I agree with him. I would say in terms of entitlement, um, most of the time, even in relationships, like I tell people this all the time, even if you're in a relationship, you're single, the fact that someone is giving you time
Mm-hmm.
is the special thing about it. So don't feel
Mm-hmm.
entitled to anything. Life is not fair. We all know that, right? The only time you're not single is when you are married. So there's a difference. So in terms of being in a relationship with a girl, boyfriend and girlfriend, there's no entitlement to spend time with your girl. You have to. There's an action, or a
Mm-hmm.
sense of duty almost for yourself to be like, okay, let me spend some time with my girlfriend. It's not an entitlement. I'm doing it because I want to, right? Um,
Gotcha. Okay.
Now it comes off a little bit aggressive when the other person is saying, "Oh, how come you didn't do this for me? How come you did?" Now it's not even coming off in the sense of neediness. It's coming off in the sense of insecurity. You know,
Mm-hmm.
not we love to see the person we're dating at the highest level. We don't want to see the insecurities pop out. You know,
Yeah, I like that a lot. I mean, I think like you said, I like how you put it that if it's a problem in the relationship when someone else says like, "Oh, how come you don't do this and this for me?" Like, and then I think especially when someone compares things and says like, "Oh, like my friend's boyfriend did this for her. Like, how come you don't do this for me?" That's feeling entitled to something.
yeah,
Which I mean, like, you have to look at your own situation and know that the person that you're with, like, that's them, and the other people, like, that's their relationship, right? So no need to compare and try to copy paste things. Cool, cool. Mike, what's your next one?
playing extremely hard to get.
Oh,
oh boy,
That's a it's a game. I would say this: men, women, we both play hard to get. Players, not players, whatever you want to do. But playing hard to get can take you in a different way, especially for females. If you're interested in a guy and you're playing hard to get, and
mm-hmm.
that guy is sort of like the actual guy you're attracted to and you want, you could literally lose his attention by just playing too hard to get and be like, oh yeah, I'm not interested, or like not responding to him,
but
playing
Mike,
that.
you gotta work for it. You
Oh
gotta
yeah,
work for.
yeah. If you could, the thing is that you can work for it, right? At the same time, you can know how to communicate as well. If you're an adult about it and be like, okay, I'm interested in you, but you're gonna have to work for it. You can tell me that, you know, verbatim, and I'll be like, okay, cool, I'm locked in because she's one of those. That intrigues more like some type of interest with it. But if you're just playing hard to get, I'm not gonna respond to him because of this. I'm gonna have him wait. because it's not going to lead you anywhere. Because to be honest, the way how the majority of men are built is that once you play hard to get and they get what they actually get it, we all know what it is. They're gonna leave you.
Because you played hard to get?
No, not because you play hard to, because you played them. You played.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's what I'm sorry, I'm not trying to spill the beans on the man game and stuff like that, but you played them. And the fact that you played them, now we're gonna play you.
Snap! Oh wow, I did not know this, guys. This talk is enlightening.
That's the narrative about it, to be honest.
Yeah, and it's interesting, right? Because I think there's like two things here, and it's kind of like the playing hard to get. Okay, so there are guys who think that like it shouldn't be too easy to get a girl,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, sure.
So they want like to chase, but then it sounds like there's a limit to how much you want to chase. It sounds like, Mike, what you're saying is if the girl is interested in you, she should like still give you that reassurance that I am interested. You just need to work more on it. But then she shouldn't like just not say anything and have you continue to chase her because you're gonna stop chasing at some point.
To me, it's not considered a chase if you're interested in someone. I think that's
I agree.
it's not a chase. I think that's where we're getting it wrong. This is not a chase, because if guys usually don't play hard to get. If we don't want you, we're not going to pay no mind to you. Or we just, you know what I mean? To be honest, I think you would agree too, right? We do not play hard to get, because if you want a guy, you can get a guy. Guys have one thing in their head, and sometimes it's not even in their head, it's in their pants. So the hard to get stuff is just like, it doesn't correlate too much with guys, but for women, it does hinder them in a way. And the chase itself is like, it's nothing. Like I don't consider a chase. If a girl's interested in you, it's not a chase. You just have some type of morals that the man has to respect. And once
Got it.
you see he's deserving, or he's worth it, then you give him that time. But it's
Got
just
it.
all building the friendship, first, the friendship level first before all of that.
I see. I like that a lot. Derrick, what are your thoughts on this?
For me, I just this whole hard to get chase, and let me preface it with the fact that I agree, the man has to pursue, right? But I think when we or has to initiate and pursue. But I think when we almost replace pursue with the word chase, then it's like like it's just for me like the image just use even just the terminologies of like, hey, pursue, take initiative versus chase. It's
Got
like
it.
it's a no for me. It's, hey, it's more about you want a man that takes initiative. You don't want a man that's chasing you, right? So let's being able to articulate that, because I mean, for me personally, if the expectation is that I have to chase you, it means that means that, and knowing that that's not really one, like I don't even have the time for that. Like that's not really my personality. And so that it means that like in my authentic self, in my authentic state, we're not aligned, right? Because you constantly need somebody who's in person and like chasing you, right? But there's a constant pursuit, right? And that's not me.
Got it.
Right. So it means that even just love language is why it's like, we're misaligned, and it's not, and we couldn't be in a healthy place together.
Okay. I think that makes a lot of sense. And we're getting to time here. So I'll ask a question which is kind of related to an episode that I did a few weeks ago. So let me start with you, Derrick. Would it be a turn off if a girl was the one who took initiative? So like a girl thinks you're cute and she comes and she asks you out. Would that be a turn off for you or no?
I don't know. I think that's I think to me that's actually a turn on, actually. Especially if she's valid. Like it's just me, like it means like you're confident in like you.
Okay.
Like you're comfortable with you. Like you like what it is. So I'm like, oh, look, say less. We out.
Got it. And Mike, for you?
Yeah, like I agree. That's a turn on, knowing what you want, and I multiple girls have approached me, and and said, "Oh yeah, let's do this, let's do that." It's it's intriguing to see the way the female mind works sometimes. So like if you see it happen and you just like, okay, cool, let's do this. I appreciate that your effort, and if I don't want it, then I just politely decline. There's nothing wrong about it. It also leads with this sense of like rejection and stuff like that too. So we're not gonna get into that. That's a whole another topic.
Yeah. Oh wow. Well, guys, this was so great. Thank you so much. This is so interesting to me because I was like literally in the male mind and hearing all these secrets. Clearly, Mike dropped a secret that we all probably didn't know about. So I definitely appreciate you guys taking the time to be on here. I'm sure a lot of people learned, at least a thing or two, right? So definitely appreciate your time.
Thank you. I appreciate your time as well.
Yeah. So thank you so much, guys, for listening to this episode. If you guys, I'm guessing it's going to be girls really who might have questions. So if you have any questions about anything that Mike or Derrick said, just feel free to send me a DM and ask me, and then I can forward those questions on to Mike and Derrick. So yeah, thanks for listening, guys, and thank you so much, Derrick and Mike.
Sure. And Mike's single.
Derrick is
Mike
single.
is single. Okay, well, you guys heard it.
We're both bachelors, like that.
Yeah, so it would be love at first sight, I guess. If you not first sight, I guess from the voices. If you think that you're feeling more drawn to one of these guys, definitely let me know. We can see if we can match make you people. That was so
Let,
funny.
let me pop out a disclaimer. I actually have way more turn-ons than turn-offs for females, so it's really hard to come up with a list. You know what I mean, of stuff that distasteful to you, but when you like more things about women than you could even think of. So
Okay, cool.
yeah.
Maybe
So
we should have
maybe that's the
a
next
part two.
episode.
Yeah, right. I was
Right,
gonna
that's the next
say.
episode, right?
What are the turn-ons? Cool. Well, I guess that's gonna be the next episode then. So thank you so much, guys. Yeah, we're gonna sign off now. Bye. Ndiwe wandiro ya moyo wangu, ndiwe wandikanganiza fungo zangu.